Welcome to Engineering Influence, a podcast from the American Council of Engineering Companies. We're coming to you live from our ACEC Convention and Legislative Summit from Washington, D.C. at the Grand Hyatt. And I'm pleased to be joined today by two vice chairs of the DEI&B committee. We have Eric Madden, the CMO from JMT, and Michael Cooper, president of HED. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really glad to have you here. So, two chairs from DEI&B. Let's get a general overview of DEI&B and just give our viewers and listeners an overview of what's happening within the committee.
So it's a relatively new committee. It kicked off fairly recently, and I think the crux of this was a topic that most engineering firms are dealing with, will need to deal with, and really need more information, need tools and resources, need some help moving forward. It's something that we've talked about at this convention before.
Right.
And so the committee was almost a natural, something that the engineering community needs, some guidance, and I think ACEC is in a great position to get things started, and they did, and then really this grew from that.
Right. So, any particular projects that we should talk about? I think there's one in particular that we did talk about previously. We've worked on together, actually. Do you want to give an overview of that document and the infographics?
Sure, go ahead. So, when the committee kicked off and we started to look at subgroups, breaking up the committee to begin to start some focused conversations, Eric and I were both interested in leadership paths, helping people find their way and navigate through ACEC. And I think what we found really was that in order to navigate the organization and certainly to get to a leadership position, it helped to be an insider. It helped to have some inside information. Many of us had people guiding us and helping us understand the organization as we came into it. And we really felt, what would it mean if everybody could become an insider? If we could strip away perhaps the complexity, the fear, the intimidation factor, and invite everybody into the fold. We felt like that would up the ante with participation. We felt it would up the ante with respect to folks then looking for leadership opportunities. And I think what ultimately we created out of leadership paths, Eric, myself, and our group, was really a mechanism, a tool, a resource that can be used by everybody, whether you are somebody who has been engaged with the organization or somebody who is new. Certainly underrepresented individuals would benefit from this, but it's a large, complex organization.
Right.
And step one, let's get people comfortable, let's get them knowledgeable about the organization. That way they can quite naturally engage, participate, and then hopefully look for leadership opportunities.
Right. So it sounds like get their feet wet, understand what ACEC is all about, how it can help to impact their future in the engineering industry, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Is that right, Eric? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. ACEC is a great organization. It's a fantastic organization. But for many, it just seems like it's something I just don't know and understand.
Right.
And as we have talked about in our DEI&B committee, we're talking about issues that are somewhat sensitive. People just don't exactly know how to begin to approach the issue or even how to begin to have a conversation. So we thought about, let's start to give people something tangible that they can put their hands on to help the conversation, to help bring back some of that we are focusing on that belonging.
Right.
To make sure that everybody knows that they have a place here at ACEC and at their local MO units as well. I mean, it's very important. It doesn't happen by itself. So we wanted to put together tools that people could use to help them in their own path, not only for leadership, but just to bring more people involved into the excellent organization that ACEC is.
Right. And I think you're saying it's a tangible document, right? An infographic that you can see, feel, and it really will help, from what I'm hearing, to increase and fuel greater diverse participation at the national level, but also the MO level, right? It's not just focused on national, it's an MO document as well, or infographic to help provide guidance.
Well, one of the things we talked about, it seems almost more natural that engagement begins at the MO level. You're younger in your career, you're newer, you don't know as many people. You start to meet people locally. You engage locally. It doesn't cost as much money. It isn't as much of a time commitment, and normally something that member firms can buy into.
Right. Right.
You begin to build your network. You get more comfortable with the organization participating, and then quite naturally, you start to participate at the national level.
Right.
You know more people. It's a more comfortable experience. I think as Eric and I talked anecdotally, I think we sort of came up through the organization that way. And we felt like if we could get the local participation and that engagement and excitement, we would get the national participation as well. But that might be a phase two, if you will.
Right. Right.
We look at this as the long game.
I got it. Yes. Yeah. This is not going to happen overnight, right? It's going to take time. It's a marathon. That actually leads me to a question for you, Eric. So as your experience as the executive director of ACEC Pennsylvania, how did that inform your interest in making ACEC easier to access?
Well, I mean, I was actually very interested in this, particularly when I had that special background of being an MO executive.
Right.
And I know that the challenges that are out there are always trying to get people involved. It seems like just like any organization, whether it be a booster club or church or whatever it may be, you always keep going back to that same 20% and you're trying to get more people involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I always found it as a way of, we need to make our pool bigger. So how do we make our pool bigger? We also need to increase the diversity of our pool, just because you look at the demographics of the future. I mean, we're looking at where we're trying to recruit from the schools that are high schools and colleges.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the demographics are telling us that we're going to have a more diverse population in the future. So how do we start to make ourselves attractive to everybody to, again, get back to that B, that they're all have a belonging here.
Right.
And I just see it personally at the MO level, just because it was just closer.
Yeah.
You know, really close to, you know, the really small firms, and it's very intimate level of understanding with our member organization. So it was one of the things that I saw, and I thought, how can I take what I experienced at the MO level? Now I'm working for a member firm, and we see the same issues that are going on everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But how can I take that platform and work with Mike here and the ACEC DEI&B committee? How can we make this something more? How can we turn it into something tangible?
Right. I think that's a great question. This is the right path we're going down. And same question, sort of, Mike. You served in several leadership positions at ACE as well, including vice chair and XCOM. How has your ACEC leadership experience kind of informed your interest in these infographics?
So, I was super fortunate to be able to follow the path that I did. And I learned a couple of things in working through the MO level and then the national level. One is I recognized the guidance that I had. I had a predecessor at my organization who also was a leader in ACEC, and so could help me understand the organization, encourage me.
Right.
I also, through participation, I had tools and resources, people I could go to when I had questions. I had been meeting people, I was exposed to people like Eric, the staff at ACEC. I was quite comfortable.
Right.
A lot of people do not have those luxuries.
Mm-hmm.
And so I realized through service how much I knew and then how much I still didn't know. And you begin to look at individuals who are just discovering the organization, and you realize how much there is to know and to understand. And I think more than ever, if we could help everybody, if
Right.
we could put everybody on a level playing field, then we would get the participation we're looking for. We would get the broad leadership that we're looking for. But we first have to get people comfortable. We have to get people in a place where, yes, I understand this organization. I understand what benefits there are for me. And yes, I want to go forward and invest some time and do this. And because we think if we can get people to that place,
Yeah.
they'll stay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great organization, but we got to get them in the door. And this was really the tool that we felt would get them in the door.
Get them in the door. Eric, I don't want to.
No. The one thing I was going to piggyback with that is, the tool that we put together has 3 different parts to it.
Mm-hmm.
The first is the what. What is ACEC? There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to pieces of that onion. They just have to pull back and go, what is a board? What are the acronyms that we use? What is an MO? What are the committees? What are the coalitions? What is all of that? So the first part is explaining what ACEC is.
Right.
So that's the what. And then there's the how. The how is the second piece. So giving people, again, starting to develop some paths for them to find out how they can be involved. Do you want to be a part of a committee? Do you want to be a part of a coalition? Do you just want to attend meetings? Do you want to understand this, such as PAC? Or do you want to understand the Senior Executives Institute? There's many different things. So you start to lay out how you could possibly get involved. And again, this was at the ACEC national level. The MOs can take this and tailor it specifically to what they have at the local level. And then that last portion is the why. You know, I understand what ACEC is. I kind of understand my path. Why would I do this? You could do it as an employer. Why am I going to put somebody through this? Or why, as an individual, why should I do this? And that's when we talk about the skill set that you learn. You know, most of the things that they don't teach you in college is the networking, understanding business acumen, understanding strategic thinking, understanding executive leadership. These are all the things, as you work your way through your path, it kind of develops your own personal gravitas.
Right.
That you can have that's not only for your own personal use here at the ACEC, but also you can use this at church, you can use this at anything that you're doing, anything in life. So, you know, always have the what, the why, the how, and the why.
There it is. The what, the how, and the why. Easily laid out, easily digestible, easy to understand, and take that leap, right? Start and just understand it all and then take action.
Yes.
That's where we are. Okay. And let's talk about where they can get these great documents. Where can we get these infographics?
Well, all these are actually located on the ACEC national website. So we can actually provide a link, and we'll probably add it to the bottom of this.
We'll do that. I'm sorry. We will add the link at the bottom. It'll be easy to access, easy to download. We're going to make it easy. Make it easy. Well, Michael, Eric, thank you for joining us on the show. Anything else you want to add, or convention's going well so far?
Wonderful.
It's wonderful. It's great.
It's just getting started, but it's great as always. And thank you for your help putting these things together.
Sure.
You were a big part of this. And really the message is, get involved in some small way and see what this is about. This is the organization that represents the whole of the engineering community. There's a lot here for everybody. Just kick the tires, start small. You'll be glad you did.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
And this is the stuff that it's beyond what you see at your desk every day.
Right.
This is the network. These are the
intangibles.
The intangibles. This you're sitting there and you think about, a section head, an office leader, or somebody in corporate, and you wonder how they get there. This is one of the ways that they get there.
Right.
Broaden their network beyond what they see in the office.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Eric. Again, Mike, thank you for joining the show. Again, this has been an episode of Engineering Influence, the official podcast of the American Council of Engineering Companies. We'll see you next time.